Hi, I'm Amy. This is House of Nash Sheets, and today we are making fruit pizza. Okay, so we're going to make our sugar cookie crust. So it's super easy. If you know how to make sugar cookies, you'll recognize this process. We're going to start out with half a cup of softened salted butter and about 2/3 cup of sugar. And I'll leave a printable link below for the recipe so you can print it out and follow along. We're going to cream that for about 2 minutes until it's creamy and light. Okay, once the butter and sugar have been creamed together, we're going to add 1 egg and some vanilla extract. And then what I think really sets this apart and makes this the best fruit pizza is we add some lemon zest to our cookie dough. And it just gives it that little extra like lemon flavor without being overpowering. You could leave out the lemon if you don't have one or you just don't want to bother with it. So I'm just gonna grate the zest. When you're grating lemon zest or any citrus, you just wanna get the outside layer. The underneath part where it starts turning white is called the pith, and it can be bitter. So we're just going for that sweet outer layer that has all the flavor. Okay, now we'll mix those together and scrape down our bowl. Okay, and already this is smelling amazing from that lemon fragrance. So now I've got some flour, and we're just using regular all-purpose flour. It's 1 1/4 cups. And then we're going to add some baking powder, some baking soda, a little cream of tartar, and some salt. And with fruit pizza, the sugar cookie dough doesn't have to really hold its shape, so it's okay to add a little bit extra so it stays chewy and soft, and it can even spread a little bit in the pan to fill it up. Okay, and that's all there is to our sugar cookie dough. So I'm just going to scrape off my beater, and then we're going to transfer this to our pizza pan. So I've got a large 14-inch pizza pan. This is just a really inexpensive pan that I grabbed at the grocery store or a craft store, or you can get them on Amazon. You could also just use a baking sheet if you don't really care about the circle shape. It might spread out a little bit more. You can also do really fun themed pizzas, like at Easter, they have egg-shaped pans, or Valentine's, you could do a heart. We're just gonna take our pan and spray it with some baking spray. And then we're going to transfer our sugar cookie dough onto our pan. Okay, and you can use your spatula to try to press it out a little bit on the pan, or you can just get in there with your fingers. It might help to spray your fingers first with a little of your cooking spray or your spatula and just press it out. And you're gonna want to do a pretty thin layer, and it might not look like enough, but you don't want your cookie too thick, and keep in mind that it will puff up and spread a bit as the cookie bakes. Okay, and there we go. We've got our sugar cookie crust, and it's ready to go in a 350-degree oven for 12 to 14 minutes until it's baked through. All right, so we've got our sugar cookie crust out and it's cooled down. So now we're going to make our frosting, or like cream cheese topping, and then finish off our pizza. So I've got 8 ounces of cream cheese, and it's softened for about an hour outside of the fridge. It's about room temperature, and that'll just help it to mix up more easily without clumps. Then I'm going to add half a cup of powdered sugar and some fresh squeezed lemon juice and a little bit of vanilla extract. Okay, now we're just going to mix that up with a hand mixer until it's smooth. All right, so now we're going to take our fruit pizza and we're going to use our cream cheese sauce, if you will. We're going to just spread that in an even layer all across the top of the pizza. Make sure you leave like an inch or so around the edges for a crust so it looks like a pizza. So you don't want to do this when the cookie is still hot, otherwise the cream cheese will kind of melt into it instead of holding its like frosting like consistency quite as well. I love this layer because it keeps things from being too sweet. That little bit of tanginess of the cream cheese just goes really, really well with the fruit and the sweet like lemon flavored cookie underneath. Okay, this doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to get covered up with the fruit and you won't even really see this, so don't worry about making this like look just totally smooth and perfect. You just want to spread it out evenly. Okay, now this is my favorite part, and this is where it's fun. This is my kind of decorating because you don't need any special skills to make this look like a really beautiful, impressive dessert. I'm going to start, I like starting around the outside edge and working my way into the center. So I'm going to use strawberries, and you can use any fruit that you like. We tend to go for a variety of colors and shapes and sizes. So strawberries are almost always on there, so are mandarin oranges that come out of the can, just because my kids love those. And they're sweet and juicy, which is a nice balance with the kind of crumbly cookie base. Okay, and then I'm going to do kiwis. And you don't have to be as precise as I'm being and making it look nice. You could really just sprinkle the fruit on top like a regular old pizza. That's totally fine. It's just kind of fun to make a rainbow pattern here. I will say that I recommend putting your fruit on pretty thick. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine when I get a piece of fruit pizza that has like just 1 or 2 measly little pieces of fruit instead of plenty of fruit on it. So pile your fruit on as thick as you want. Then I'm going to do our mandarin oranges. And you can do all of this ahead of time, and it will keep in the fridge for about a day or so, and you can take it to a party. It's really best the day it's made before the cookie layer soaks up too much of the cream cheese, but it will hold for about a day. Then I'm going to fill in the center with some raspberries, just kind of in a pile. And then for a pop of color, I'm going to go around and put blueberries in a couple of areas. Okay, and that's all there is to it. You could warm up some apricot jam or some apple jelly and brush it over the top if you want to give it like a nice glistening sheen, which is what I do with my fruit tarts. But for fruit pizza, I usually keep it pretty simple and I serve it just like this. Okay, so I'm going to cut into my fruit pizza now. So you could use a pizza cutter, but I've just got a sharp knife here, and I'm going to cut a nice size slice. The reason I like doing the circles of fruit is then you get some of each type of fruit on every slice of the pizza. And depending on how big you slice it, this can serve quite a few people. I mean, unless you're doing giant size slices like I've got right here. Okay, so I'm taking this piece with all the raspberries because raspberries are so good. Okay, this is super, super delicious. The sugar cookie is nice and soft, and you get those little hints of lemon underneath with that perfect thin layer of sweet cream cheese and the bright fruit. This is really a hard one to stop eating. I hope you guys love this fruit pizza. It's such a fun recipe to make. Kids love to help with it. It's always a hit at parties. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more great recipes just like this.